Hi, Robert. So Robert Reid, one of our generous, super generous,
absolutely one of the
supporters.
first people to show us that maybe we'd be able to do this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert. We love you,
and we really appreciate it because you don't have any lady parts of your own. And as far as I know, you're not a fan of Wentworth.
Look, I'll get into it. I promise.
Sorry, you don't have to.
Anyway, but we're just no. The point is that you just gave from the generosity of your heart because it was something that you thought was needed and you wanted to throw your support behind, and we really, really, really appreciate it.
We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you.
I must say that when I saw your campaign first start, and I've said this before about a lot of things. That, I think what the biggest problem is with supporters is they want something for free and they don't want to pay for it. And they expect everything for free. But, I kind of went back to my childhood, especially with Mimi, because my grandmother and I spent a lot of time bonding over soaps. And we'd read that magazine every week together. And, it was my mom, my grandmother, and I, we all bonded through that time. And my mom was usually a single working mom, so my grandmother kind of took my brother and I and raised us basically because she lived right behind us. So my grandmother grew up watching the soaps. I mean, that was just nothing of, it was just a special time for us. But we would get together on that magazine and we'd read it. We get a subscription every week.
Soap Opera Weekly.
Soap Opera Weekly. And I remember at 8, I would read these editorial reviews from Mimi, and I would sit there and read them, and it made me think better as a viewer to understand and appreciate the form itself, and that she was actually pointing out really serious things because all the other magazines before, they weren't really doing that. They were just so glammed up, and it was just bullshit. Yeah, but it made me be a better person and understand social relevance. So, no, when I saw this opportunity, I seized it because I thought, Mimi didn't really understand that what she was doing at the time is she was bonding me with my grandmother and my mother who, formed me to the person who I am today. So if I gave any money, it was to that thought and it was to continue the project going because I kind of felt like, you know what? I need to pay her back in some way.
Oh no. The fact of what you just said pays me back because,
I know, but I felt at the time that was the right thing to do. And I also thought when I was having, little text with you, Leon, I was thinking to myself, shit, I got to put my money where my mouth is and just say, fuck it, I'll just pay it. Yeah. And that's what I did.
We really appreciate
my mom,
it.
Give me your Discover card. We're putting more money towards it.
Oh, well, it was very, very meaningful, and especially because we have a although I didn't know it, a past together.
Right.
And that means so much to me because it was something I was trying to do. I was trying to connect with people. I was trying to, make people think about things in a different way. And the fact
obviously you were successful.
That it worked is amazing, especially for a young boy.
Right. And I feel like at the time, everybody... I think it's now at the point where, we have these 4 serials on the air, none of them which I'm really invested in. Mm-mm. And I think the reason why is because the people that really made those shows are gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. The Agnes Nixon, the Claire Labine, they're gone. And those 2 women, especially Claire Labine, who I actually got to meet.
Wonderful woman, Claire.
Claire's death meant a lot to me, and the reason why it meant so much is I think Claire's biggest gift was she knew that this medium meant something to people. She knew that even if you did watch it and everything was fine, she knew there were people out there that had problems, and that it solidified the relationship between those people. And it built human characteristics that, you would use them later on in life. Now, some of her stories got a little crazy. But I don't really think... I don't really think that she had a free hand towards the end of her gigs. And I felt like, if they would just, it was a woman's medium. That's what it started out to be. I understood that. I got that. But these two women, Agnes and her, they brought social relevance to issues that I think that no other form is ever going to do, nor will it touch you in the way that those shows touched me. I mean, I think of all the stories that Claire did on Ryan's Hope. That's why there's portraits behind me. That's a Ryan's Hope portrait.
Wow.
The portrait is my best friend, Louise Schaefer, Reid Woodard.
Of course, Louise.
And this is her character portrait that was painted from her.
Is this
from
the
the
one
guy?
with two?
Is this one over here?
Yeah, I can show you a little better. This is
oh, wow.
Reid Woodard.
Yes.
Okay. And Reid Woodard was, the socialite on Ryan's Hope.
Right.
But Cy Tomashoff actually designed that portrait, and he did all the portraits for all the things for Dark Shadows, and he did all the sets for Ryan's Hope, and also The Bold and Beautiful, I believe. But one thing about Claire is when she believed in her characters, she drew them out and made them real, and that's what she did with Reid Woodard. And that's when Louise lost her husband, and she was moving back to New York. She couldn't take the photo. She was going to throw it out. I said, I'll pay you whatever it is you want, and I'll take it off your hands.
They're fabulous, both of them. They're just amazing.
Is this two or is this a mirror? It might be a mirror.
It's a piece of my childhood, and it's a really big thing of our friendship.
Well, it's great.
So, yeah.
It's very rare and very beautiful, and it's very meaningful to you. And it's true. Claire wrote from her heart, and Ryan's Hope was filled with heart. And such brilliant writing, too. Such wonderful character-driven stories. And
it was a special time for me, too, because Claire was one of those people that you could call. She was still listed in the phone book, okay? She was one of those people that would take a call from a complete stranger. And she would talk to you for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and this lady at the time is writing an hour show. Look, someone's coming to join me.
Oh, hello, baby.
What?
Amy. Her name's Amy.
Hi, Amy.
This is a good opportunity.
She'll hear the voices. And
hi.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Oh, she has mittens. She's so darling.
So, for me, with Claire especially, Claire I called when I was 14 years old. And Claire at the time was writing General Hospital, and she was shopping around at the time a spin-off of General Hospital, I think, but also trying to create her own show, and NBC at the time went with Sunset Beach instead. And I think that was very devastating for Claire, but I think Claire would have developed more writers and developed more people for this form if she had the strength that she had at one point.
Right.
I think Claire couldn't do that with me or others as much as she wanted to. I think if she would have, we wouldn't be in this mess of the same writers and the same ideas being over and over
and
again.
Over and over again.
The
same pool of people, the same stories, just shuffling from one. Someone would get fired from one show, and 2 weeks later they'd show up at another show.
Right.
Well, if you weren't good enough for this show, why are you good enough for that show? And what are you going to, bring to it?
And also, I think Procter & Gamble, just didn't give a shit anymore. These guys were sitting in an office in Cincinnati, Ohio, didn't give a shit what this medium did. They were about numbers. But what you don't realize when you hear about numbers, Claire understood this. She understood a publicly held corporation to the bottom line. She did. But she also knew that if you wrote good story, people would come. And she also knew that the forum spent a lot of money on shit that it didn't need to spend money on. Like these stunts. It was an intimate medium. It was on 5 days a week. And I challenge any primetime actor to go do the shit these people have done.
They couldn't. Many of them tried. They couldn't. They couldn't remember the lines. They couldn't take the
the intensity. Also, so many hours.
The schedule. The
right.
Because also it's all year round. It's not like shows like primetime shows that do 20 episodes or something. You can just
5 days a week, all year long.
And to credit, say, Linda Gottlieb, because she was a film Hollywood producer. Linda's biggest problem was Linda didn't understand the form.
No.
But Linda came to appreciate it later on. You know, Linda was really concerned about editing and doing things like that. And from the conflicted stories I've always heard about Linda was she just couldn't handle the grind. She did it for 2 years. She brought in the fabulous Michael Malone. I mean, fabulous Michael Malone.
Yes, she did.
I think,
and there was some good storytelling under her, but there was also a lot of strife.
Yeah, and Erica Slezak said that too. She said she didn't give a shit, you know. And Erica, you know, the mixed views I got from Erica. I love Erica Slezak. Let's put it this way, Erica Slezak. I mean, for me to speak to Erica Slezak at one point was a thrill of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. No people like soap people, really, because they do understand what being in people's houses 5 days a week, year after year, meant to people. That it wasn't just a show; it was family.
It was.
You know, you lived your intimate moments with their intimate moments, and it became very intertwined. And the best soap writers and producers and actors understood that. And as time went on, that was lost. And I think that's what killed the soaps. Also, people had more time to do other things. Listen, I'm not going to talk again about what killed the soaps. I mean, I've been asked 400 times.
We know what killed the soaps. Yeah. Hello, Kardashians.
But well, it's not. The soaps were already on decline. But at their best, the soaps were family to people. And
when I started watching, there were 16 wonderful shows on the air.
16. Wow.
Yeah. And I think that what I got from them was so much. And when I wrote an article actually for this small book called Soap Opera Confidential. And what I didn't realize at the time when I was writing my article was all the friendships that I made from the industry, but not also just that. I learned some valuable lessons how to live my life in the right direction. And I also thank my parents for allowing me to watch this. You know, a lot of parents won't be so, you know, willing to let them watch. This is when we didn't even have TV ratings. You just watched whatever you wanted and you didn't care. But my parents were really open thinkers that way. My mom said to me, she goes, what can I say? I watched the soap, so I didn't think of anything different. You know, I just thought, you know, you'll ask me if you have questions. And when I did have questions, and I asked about multiple personality disorders or incest, rape, all those things, we had a conversation about it. Yeah. We talked about it.
Families don't have conversations anymore.
They don't have conversations.
Kids are on everybody's on their devices.
In the same damn room.
Exactly. It is. It was a different time, and I don't think it could ever be duplicated.
No.
It was a golden time, but it was of another generation, and we were there.
But I will say this, so we're saying that, but I will also say this about the millennials now. I will say the millennials, one of their strong strengths to me is how open and honest they are about change, and what they love. I mean, my dad grew up in New York City, so he was so metropolitan. And he loved every culture and every race and everything and embraced it and loved it.
The best.
But the millennials do the same thing now. And I think that characteristic is one of the things I love about millennials. Other stuff, okay, whatever, I can work with it. But that to me is one of the strongest things I think that this country needs more than anything. And I hope when we have these stupid people just die off that are just so backward and not accepting change, I think then it will be a different ballgame. I'll give you my story. The first movie that I just saw maybe a couple years ago, it might be 2 years old or maybe a year old, was The Danish Girl. Okay, so I will say this about The Danish Girl. I loved that story. And I think what opened me up to transgender was going to school in an art school and seeing people that were borderline boy or girl trying to adapt into an art school and dealing with all that. And, there are people say, oh, because some gays can be stereotypical, some lesbians can be stereotypical. It is a part of a group of people that you really, you just don't become a woman and you just don't become a man. It is scientifically, you know, something's wrong, and they have to find themselves. So that particular movie to me touched me in a deep way. But I just want people to know, when you say transgender, it's not because they want to become a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's deep inside.
Because they are a woman.
Yeah, they are a woman. I don't know about Caitlyn Jenner so much. I don't know about Caitlyn Jenner so much. I'm not sure. Well, I want to believe that. But I've actually got to meet some transgender people, and it's really remarkable what they've gone through, because no one just goes through it just to go through it.
You can't.
That's who they are.
Why would you go through something like that just to go through it? And I think Caitlyn Jenner. Why would Caitlyn Jenner? Why Caitlyn Jenner? Why would Caitlyn Jenner?
I think the fact that Caitlyn Jenner has terrible political opinions doesn't mean that she's not a legit trans person.
I mean,
right.
I think to do something and to do it so publicly, I don't think Bruce Jenner needed publicity.
And another show that I wanted to talk about with you was Queer as Folk, and I still go over that a lot. It's probably sick of me to sit there and say, hey, I've watched it so many times. I have watched it so many times. And one of the things I've always gotten out of it wasn't just the innuendos that most people say, oh, disgusting, that Brian character's an asshole. And I think the charm always of that series was, I think every person needed a mother like Debbie.
Oh, I love
Everybody
Debbie.
needed Debbie.
I love Debbie.
Everybody needed Debbie because, I actually kind of thought of it one day. I was thinking, I watched an episode where Michael's telling her, Mom, I feel lost. She goes, you're a little shit. All your friends here, you're not lost. You're just full of shit. And I thought to myself, oh my God, that's what you need to hear.
Exactly.
So the guys, Colin and Lippman, that wrote that, I always used to applaud them, because when that show came out, it was such a controversial show. It was blackballed so many times. I think that the 5 seasons that it ran, I think it changed people. I think it made people stronger. I think it made them more comfortable with who they were. They were okay with coming out. And there's a lot of people who I've seen come out over the last few years. And I think we're at a state right now where people can do that. They're not afraid of it.
Well, we were at a state where who knows what's going to happen now, but yes.
Well, what I find interesting is we had Queer as Folk, then we had the L Word.
Yes.
And even though there was looking and there was lip service, British show, really there hasn't been a show again that was just about gay people.
Right.
And I find that very interesting, that even though those shows came on when it wasn't that easy to make a show like that, and then they caused so much change in the culture, both in television and in real life, and then nobody had the guts to do it again.
Follow up on it.
What's with that?
I feel the part of that is though some of those shows, I think the ones you just mentioned mostly, I think the part of the problem is the characterization of people. And I think people don't connect with certain characters. And I think a lot of sponsors and networks just don't give shows a chance. And that's, I guess, part of the business model.
That's why we have a Showtime and HBO.
Well, now Netflix and
Hulu
but
and Amazon.
The thing is that gay people...
But we do have... Transparent.
But transparent has one. Well, that's true. There are many different kinds of characters. But the thing is that the LGBT market is a big market. It's quite a lot of people that have quite a bit of money to spend, and they get, we're so hungry for representation. Then I'm really surprised that it's been so many years and nobody followed that up with another show that's for us.
Well, I also, when I was in college, I was the vice president of the LGBT community in my thing, and at the time when Queer as Folk was on, that was a big deal for us, and it was very monumental and very great for us to have fundraisers and have certain people from Queer as Folk more willing to help us out, to come to them and
Right.
sponsor money. And I think meeting them, I think they knew what role they had in the community
for
being
sure.
such a groundbreaking,
I'm sure that they got hundreds and thousands of letters. And
Well, who was your favorite character?
Oh, I always think of it as a combination between Michael and Brian. I think.
Oh wow!
I think Brian was
couldn't be two more different
Brian
people.
was so risque, and I think he would do shit that I would never even think about doing.
yeah, but
I always admired him for being. I think the turnaround for me was when he tried to be at the end, tried to be what everyone wanted him to be. Was to settle down, stop screwing anything that walked. And I liked that part of him. And I thought if that could have been just keep it going with that.
It was
but I understood why they did it, what they did at the end.
But he really loved Sunshine. What was that?
Justin. He was my favorite.
He really loved Justin.
Right.
Justin, I think, had a big effect on him.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So
and Justin's mom, I must say,
she
was great. Justin's mom, I loved her so much.
Another great
it's
mom.
Such a shame that she has not been mainstream in anything.
Absolutely, Sherry.
She's a wonderful actress. We've seen her in a few things. But
I love her. We've seen her mostly in like Lifetime things.
She should really have.
I loved her.
She's
in fact,
terrific actress, a beautiful woman.
I have a funny story about that. That I had a guy friend who was gay before I realized I was gay, and and I started watching Queer as Folk, and there was a lesbian couple, and it was basically the first lesbian story I ever seen. So I was having these conversations with him, trying to figure out if I was gay or not. And he said, "Well, you love Queer as Folk, right?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "So who's your favorite character?" And I said, "Justin's mother." And he said, "There's your answer." All of my friends are fantasizing about Brian. I love Justin's mother.
I must say I'm excited about Will and Grace.
Oh my God.
Will and Grace.
Am I excited? You're slightly
so
excited.
I'm slightly excited. But I love all those actors and their chemistry.
Thank you, NBC, for waking the fuck up.
Exactly.
Well, it's a good thing that they're all still there. They're all still available. They all still adore one another.
Right.
And I think that what really did it was when they did the political 10-minute clip.
Terrific.
And you saw that everything was still there. Everything that they needed was still there. When I finished that 10-minute, I was like, I want more.
And we're getting more.
And in fact, they added 3 more episodes, I think. They had 10 lined up, and they added to 13.
Great.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful.
Terrific. I mean, I'm not happy that they're redoing Dynasty. I think that's a bunch of
They're
bullshit.
redoing Dynasty?
Yes, it's not going to go anywhere.
That's because they redid Dallas, so
it's not going to go anywhere.
Jealous?
They don't go anywhere.
Well, wait, but with completely different people, right?
Yeah, of course, completely different people.
Half of
the
them
originals are half dead or dead.
Can we bring back Sammy Joe?
We're not doing Dynasty, the nursing home.
I think
Dynasty, assisted living.
I think if we can have Heather Locklear hasn't had anything to do in a while, so if we can add Sammy Joe, Fallon, and Steven.
But the Sammy Joe character now is a gay male, so it's totally different.
And what is Steven? Is Steven transgender?
I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna. I just feel like
And is Fallon married to an alien?
I think they're just what I think Jonathan Reiner told me this one time. It's easier to take a brand that's known and do it that way.
Well, they're remaking everything.
But it's so boring.
They're also redoing Roseanne.
Dirty Dancing.
Oh, Dirty Dancing.
Did you happen to watch that?
I did.
Travesty.
Oh my God.
I did.
Oh my.
I must tell you though, I did like the little girl that played Baby. I don't know why.
Abigail Breslin.
I love Abigail Breslin.
I love her as an actress, but it was such a miscast.
So miscast.
It was. I didn't like Johnny.
Oh, he was terrible. Here's my take. I said Johnny was supposed to be.
I love Deb Messing though.
Yes, and I like that they expanded her character. Great. Right. But Abigail Breslin was so miscast. The ending, she couldn't dance. I mean, the whole point was that she got to be a dancer.
I don't even think did they do the lips?
No, of course not. They didn't.
I liked what's her name?
The
Pussycat.
Nicole Schlesinger.
Yeah, she was great.
The guy who played Johnny.
Movie though.
When you think about Patrick Swayze, I was a lesbian and I thought he was the hottest, cutest, most exciting thing. And then this guy was sleazy and greasy.
Well, I saw the Broadway show here. They did a show of it here. Yeah. They did a musical of the
They did it on Broadway too.
That's it.
It's just something you shouldn't.
I mean,
touch.
Who thinks, Dirty Dancing, we can do a better one of that? Who thinks that?
It's like when they did Mildred Pierce, that 5-period.
Well,
although I rather liked that.
That was a good one.
And they did it differently. You know,
I did, but Kate Winslet's superb in whatever she does.
Yeah,
I mean,
she can do it. She can do
vaudeville,
no
and I love
wrong.
her. You know?
What else did they recently do a remake of that I thought was just an abomination?
I don't know. They're mostly abominations.
I got a great idea here. And this is just my idea. I think Rosie O'Donnell, right? I think what she should do is do a dramatic sitcom about her life growing up. And I think that should be a 1-hour series every day. So if she ever
Every day?
Well, not every day, but like once a week.
Yes.
Because I think she could do it.
I think she's an interesting life.
She would have to have Barbara come visit the show.
I think going back to her childhood, I think it would be Little Roseanne. I would love to see it.
I think it's an interesting idea. Yeah. I think people would relate to it too.
Oh, she's very relatable.
I think she's had a rough time.
Very hard.
That she lost her way.
Especially since her mother died.
Very young.
Yeah. I must say, though, even though I don't get to watch your show regularly or your vlogs, but you both always crack me up inside and make me feel so good about who I am. And so, even if I'm not a lesbian and don't have lady parts, which I know I don't.
Lady parts is a state of mind.
Exactly.
It's a state of mind. It really is. So, I would just urge people, when you do another campaign, if you love these two girls and you care about them and you like listening to this, stop trying to see what you can get for free on YouTube. Pay $10, $20. You won't miss it.
Thank you,
It's
Robert.
entertainment. You already spend a shitload of movie on rentals at Redbox. You spend a shitload of movie renting movies that have been remade 3 or 4 times, and this is all fresh content. This is what it's about.
Thank you, darling.
You reach out and touch people. Who else reaches out and touches people? I don't really know of any people that do that anymore.
Well, thank you. We really love you for this, and it means the world to us.
And when you have another campaign, I'll step it
you've done your part.
You've done your part.
And then some.
That's it. You don't have to do any more, but be you and be our pal and enjoy it.
Yes.
Oh no, I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing all you've done for me for years.
Well, it makes me proud.
I'm sorry we missed each other when I was in New York last, but the butternut squash risotto candle was delicious.
Okay, I'll remember that.
And you did have a little FaceTime.
Yeah, we had some FaceTime from Africa.
Yeah, we had some FaceTime.
From Africa, right.
Oh, but I was lucky. I thought about this too. Like, I love sitting across from Leroy. We always have a good time anyway.
We do. Well, you're a fun guy.
We're on the same page.
You've got good taste.
You're a fun guy. Exactly. We both love you.
Yeah, we got a lot of good things in common, but I hope you enjoy your summer and the
you too, darling. And I hope you come to New York again this fall and winter.
Yeah, you have to get bagels.
Will.
Absolute bagels.
I see a spider crawling.
Where?
Did you just make fun of us?
Were you teasing us?
No, I did. I seriously saw it crawl up your curtain.
Oh, the curtain. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there he goes. Yeah. I'm really not afraid of spiders. I'm the one who gets them in the Kleenex and throws them outside alive. But I don't like the idea of having them on me.
I hope that one thing I can say that I can do more for myself and for my community is be a good active listener, listen to everyone's sides, and come up with some great ideas. I mean, I've had kids come out to me and tell me about them, and I think I was so lucky enough to have parents that accepted me for who I was.
Yes, you were.
And built me up. I don't think a lot of people get that.
No.
I think now they're getting it more because it's so, available. But, I think that is, you got to talk about it. Everyone's different. Everyone's not going to go marry your next door neighbor and have 12 kids.
There's
no
time limit, Robert. There's no time limit on achievement. I was 43 years old when I started Soap Opera Weekly. Up until that
Yeah.
point, I was an
Anyway.
itinerant player, a freelance writer.
But anyway, I mean, I think it's important also to acknowledge the little things.
The little things,
every,
exactly.
every kid who comes to you and you help him feel good about himself,
Right.
you've done so much already.
I just want to tell you, I still have one of your soap opera weekly covers
Oh
that
my
I
gosh.
love right here. It's called Coming Home.
Oh, that's
and it
with
was
Robin Strasser and John.
John Loprino.
John Loprino.
Yeah.
Are they sitting?
And,
Is she
you know,
sitting
you
on a
see these
suitcase?
things- I loved how you always used to say, you know, when you used to write these little things by speaking my mind. You
Yes.
see this? I mean, I just used to read these and say to myself, gosh, this is such a wonderful thing to learn from her and to make really good decisions about what you like and what you don't like, and don't be discouraged from saying, I don't like that story at all.
No. We had to teach the industry how to take criticism. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. They were used to just adoration. You
Right.
said, you want to be taken seriously as an art form? You have to stand up to criticism. That's
Right.
what all true art forms do.
Okay, I have a question for you. Okay, so if you had to, and this is a really vague question, but if you had to pick, there's this survey today of what soap would you bring back?
Oh,
Which one would be
Guiding
the
Light.
Right.
I don't even have to think about it.
No.
Right.
Guiding Light was my favorite soap, always. And even in its final years, I happen to have loved the model that they did.
Right.
I thought that
I
it was
did
so
too.
immediate and so real.
Right.
I thought that it
Right.
brought a whole different feeling of
Right.
immediacy and reality
Right.
to
Right.
being in those places, you know,
Right.
and in those sort of confined, real spaces.
Right.
And
As opposed to plastic
I
trees.
loved the characters at its best.
I always loved Marge Doucet. I mean, whatever Marge did.
Yeah,
I was-
Marge was great. I mean, Beverly, when Beverly played that character, oh my
Oh,
God.
we loved everybody.
I loved everybody on the show. I
Beth
loved the
and Tina
characters.
and Crystal and Jessica.
It had some of the greatest
Crystal, yeah.
stories. I would bring Guiding Light back in a heartbeat.
Right.
Now, who
right.
do we
And
need to talk to?
I think people are saying that, but they're also saying they also would love to have One Life to Live back.
I'd like all my
Well,
children.
Well, thank you so much for having me on there. I know I've been
Our
lonely,
pleasure.
but
Yeah,
I
that's
really
okay.
loved it.
It was
Our
a pleasure.
and thank you. It's the
Thank you
least
for
we could do.
everything.
And
Oh, absolutely. And I'll continue to be a champion of Lady Party.
Thank you very much. And we'll continue to be a
darling.
champion of you, darling.
Okay, you too.
Okay.
And I wanted to say thank you so much for that birthday video. I started crying and I sent it to everybody I
Oh
knew.
my God. You'll get one
My
next
mom
year
said,
too.
"Oh my God." She
Love
loved
you.
it.
Say hi to your mom.
I will.
Okay.
Take care, ladies. Love you. Mwah.
Bye. Mwah.